If you have just joined us, this is Enterprise Friday here on Enterprise TV. Now to our main conversation. Rivers State Governor Simnalai Fubara has warned that he would surprise those who consider his honest decision to implement the Presidential Peace Pact as a sign of weakness.
Yes, he said he had been inundated with several comments in the media about the implementation of the peace initiative and had chosen to be silent out of maturity and wisdom.
He also urged residents to support his administration, brace up, and not be intimidated by anyone, declaring that the next step would be, quote, fire for fire in Rivers State.
Well, the governor also said it was important to put the record straight for clarity and explained that when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu intervened in the political crisis that engulfed the state on October 30, 2023, the agreement that was accepted was a political solution.
The governor said he had since commenced implementation of the agreement solely because of his respect for President Tinubu, but cautioned that it appeared that other political actors had taken his humility and compliance as a sign of weakness. Our guest for this segment remains Barrister Evans Ufeli. He's a prolific writer, a critical don, and a barrister at law, both in Nigeria and on the foreign space. You're welcome, sir, once again.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. The tremor in Rivers State appears unabated, but this time there's a little twist because Governor Fubara seems to be emboldened. There was a purported list that was released yesterday with all over social media, and we can see that the governor is spitting fire, talking tough, and some people are saying that can it be or could it be that the governor might rescind at some point on the decision of the political solution that he had with the president? Because some people are saying that the peace pact is unconstitutional, but it was just a political solution. Do you think, or do you see Fubara betraying, so to speak, allow me to use the word, President Tinubu? And again, do you also think that the House of Assembly has the locus to impeach him?
Well, we said this when that peace pact was reached, that it's actually unconstitutional, that the president cannot use a political solution to amend the constitution as it relates to defection from one political party to the other. Constitution is clear as to what should become the fate of anyone who does that. But then Fubara embraced it. He embraced it for reasons best known to him, maybe because of political continuity, or he wants to be in the good book of the president, or whatever it is. But I know he embraced it politically, jettisoning the legal angle, which actually really is where his strength lies. If he wants to insist on the law, there's no way he's going to be impeached, or it is those lawmakers, they will be the ones who will be taken down. Okay? Now, despite the peace agreement and all that, which he has kept mostly part of it, because it was actually directed to him to go and do all he has done. And he went there on doing everything. Now, part of the resolution there was that it should also make provisions that those lawmakers be paid. And they were paid for Christmas. Now they are emboldened. They are now saying, I got it to a point where if the only choice left with them, given Fubara's conduct, if the only choice left is impeachment, they would rather go and impeach him and all that. That is when he got the message. That these were guys who actually had run foul of the law, who are actually not, these are butterflies, they are not birds. Okay? So, I ordinarily would have insisted, and by now, they should have been forgotten. By now. Okay? Because INEC would have conducted fresh elections for those the affected constituencies. But he allowed it, and this is the result of what he gets. And I said it then that he shouldn't have allowed that. He should insist on what the law says. He would not be embarrassed like this if he had done that. By now, he would have forgotten his people. And the INEC, by the constitution, INEC will conduct elections. So, let him face the music. This is the consequences of appearing weak. Now he's making the statement himself that they feel he's weak. But he said it before that this is nothing but weakness. Now he's coming to admit the fact that he admitted that, and it should not be mistaken for weakness. Of course, anywhere in the world, it will be mistaken for weakness. If you cannot stand your ground and say those who have done wrong should go down, there's no forgiveness in politics. That's what it is. So, as to whether these lawmakers can impeach him, they don't have the local standard. If we go back to truly the position of the law, they don't have, because they have skeletons in their cupboard. He that comes to equity must come with clean hands. Lord Denning in USC versus Mark Ford says a matter is void and law is a nullity, as you cannot put something on nothing and expect it to stand. It will collapse. These lawmakers, they are just there by political solution. And because of that political solution, they are earning salary. And they are passing bills. I know all the bills that they join forces to pass, that will join vote, all those bills are illegal. They are illegal, yes. But you know what the law is? If nobody goes to court to challenge the fact that what these people are doing in the house are illegal, it will remain like that in the face of it, like it is legal. You understand? Everything will remain in a state of inertia, like it's a legal thing to do, whereas it's illegal. So they better know this as quickly as possible before they begin to talk about impeaching a sitting governor that have the mandate of the people. They have lost their own mandate by virtue of moving from one political party to the other. So it's not in their place. I believe this message is a warning. The one from Fubara is a warning. And if the lawmakers are wise, this is the time to just relapse and look for how they can find favor with the governor again and have an amicable relationship with him. The greatest problem of the Rivers State House of Assembly is the Speaker. He has this bold, ignorant, this deep, huge deposit of ignorance. When he goes about, if you hear him, when they're organizing their press conference, you hear him talk. You know that this one is not aware that he's standing on a cliff. The undoing of that state is the Speaker. And when he moves them, you have people who largely do not understand their place in the scheme of things as lawmakers. So that one minister will be remoting you, tell you the party to defect to, what to do, how to conspire to remove a governor, and all that. And that minister is still in the PDP. He's the one advising you to leave PDP. He's the one remoting you, even the current position you are. You have no mind of your own. It tells you that this is not democracy.
Now, talking about the speaker and the gusto that he has, it's often said he who plays the piper dictates the tune. Let's cast our searchlight to Yeltsin Wike, whom you just talked about now. In one of his media parley with journalists, he did say, he asked them a rhetoric question, that which amongst them would sit back and watch his political structure get destroyed by someone else? And of course, there was silence in the room. Now, talking about threat to democracy, now we all know what that pertains. Talking about threat to democracy, how far can this go when someone feels he owns the structure to the political system in a community or a state?
Remoting and manipulating people in politics is not structure. It is a very deep misunderstanding of politics. To say that because you were a governor, you helped someone else to get into that seat as a governor. You must be the one to keep controlling the person from wherever you are. If you don't control the person, your structure has been destroyed. Is that politics? That is not. In fact, you wield more influence if you allow that governor to be a man of his own. He will give the credit to you. It's because of insecurity. You see, the best way to lead people is to serve them. If you serve people, they will leave every other thing they are doing and come to you anytime you want them. There are those who will be ungrateful. Definitely. You cannot sit down and tame everybody. How many people do you want to tame in this whole earth? The people are too much, and people are foolish. So you can only do the much you can. You cannot hold a whole state down because of the fear that your political structure will be destroyed. What is your structure really? You are like the party leader. He was a party leader, was a PDP leader in that state throughout. In the national, he's recognized as one who have contributed immensely to development of the PDP since they lost power. So which structure again? When Secondus was brought in, you are the one who brought in, when PDP was having crisis, Secondus became the PDP chairman. You are the one, the party listening to you. So which structure? We can just power drunk.
But talking about a structure, Barrister Vance, if you would cast your memory to the case of, if you're familiar with the story, with the story of Victor Atta of Akwa Ibom State, he brought in Godfrey Elakpabio. And of course, just like you did say, he allowed him to do all that he was supposed to do. At the end of the day, Godfrey Elakpabio undermined him for close to 8 years. He was so irrelevant to the politics of Akwa Ibom State.
It's not just
now,
Akwa Ibom.
Don't you think no state ex-state governor would love to repeat such kind of?
It's not just Akwa Ibom. We have Anambra, Peter Obi and Obiano.
Yes, exactly.
Face off.
Yeah.
You have there are many. There are very many. So you have that face off all around. But it's because of the way our politicians, the way they play politics. They play politics to the point where they don't know when to stop. They don't know when to. I mean, you brought someone in, then that office requires that person should use his initiative to govern. So if you have contributed, maybe Wike, virtually all the commissioners came from him. So if Fubara has seen that and didn't have problem with that, when Fubara steps out to now take a decision, you now say he does not recognize you again. So it means that he's supposed to just be an arrowhead there. What Wike is trying to do is what Tinubu did successfully in Lagos State.
And why did he succeed?
No, he succeeded because of the kind of people, the cultural nuances of the Yorubas. They are highly subservient. You can't go and do this in South now. It's South now. Have you forgotten? Area. It's South. It will not work. That was what Adam Soshomole wanted to do in Edo. It will work. It will not work. So know where these things work and know where to apply it. There are places where it will work. In the north, it will work.
Right.
It will work here.
Barrister, I'd like you, while it appears like, having peace in River State seems like a far cry from reality, what do you see Fubara do next? Now that it appears that he's all against Wike.
He has done exactly what he's supposed to. This warning. This one is heavy. It's just to remind them, recalibrate their mind and say, see, this is where you guys are in the scheme of things. You see this agreement. I accepted to implement this agreement, and now you think it's a sign of weakness. What it's telling them technically is that this agreement does not have the force of law.
Okay.
It's an agreement that has made an attempt to amend the constitution, and it will not fly. So I can pull out from it anytime and have all of you. And have, see, the constitution did not state the duration under which INEC will contest election for those who have defected. In fact, you don't even need to go to court. The constitution did not say if they refuse to after their defection, you will now file an action in court. That's not what the law says. Though. Going to court is just to keep things civil. Otherwise, it's an order to INEC. And the reason INEC had not gone ahead is because when you look at the solution the president brought, everybody is trying to respect it, including INEC and everybody. But if it breaks down and Fubara take his stand, they must do something about these 27 members.
Barrister Wike has been described as, uh, someone who is heady and is set in his ways to ensure he gets whatever he wants. Do you see this destroying him in terms of if he keeps disturbing the quality and trying to hit it up? Do you see or think he might be sacked?
Well, that is when it gets on the way of the president, his employer. But as we speak now, I mean, the day before and yesterday is a proof that the people of Rivers are tired of this scuffle and have come out to boldly make a statement. Both the people and the elders mobilized to say this is where we are going. So Wike's authority is derived from his people. Mm-hmm. Yes. Now, the nomination, ministerial nomination on Wike is Fubara. You don't know? Governors will nominate now for ministerial appointment. Even though Wike worked for Tinubu, we know that. But the politics of it is that a governor will nominate people for ministerial appointment. Then the president will go outside it in the second leg.
Okay.
You have 46. You understand? We have 36 states. Governors will bring them. After that set, they will push them to the National Assembly for confirmation. Then the president will go outside that nomination to pick again. You understand? That's the process. So Wike is not, Wike, even as a minister, represents Rivers State.
Yes. It does.
You understand what I'm saying?
Very true.
Yeah, he represents Rivers State. So if he wants to mess it up, it's up to him. But I know that if he gets on the way of the president, Fubara, as we speak now, have more political capital than Wike. Because you can see the crowd, all of them with placards. That is what he's telling you that, I mean, we are moving. If we can manage this thing well with Fubara, call him, have a one-on-one meeting with him. Fubara is weak. Wike can manage him. It's not like Obaseki. You can't even have a meeting with Obaseki to even discuss anything. He will just tell you that that's what the law said. There was a meeting of the elders of Edo when they say, I mean, the constitution did not say you cannot make a second proclamation. Can you have that done? He said the constitution say there shall be a proclamation. On the House of Assembly of Rivers State, of Edo State, they met, they tried to have him do another one so that those people will be included. He did not agree. So those are so if Wike is even lucky, having Fubara, if somebody can manage, but he does not want to do it that way. He wants to be brazen. He wants to be seen from afar, someone who is just controlling you. Go and do this, you go and do this, to a governor. You don't know that people gave their mandate, even if you brought him. People gave their mandate. You don't also know that that part of River State have not been there. It's their first time. So there's a lot of sympathy in that direction. You can't do that.
Now talking about the mandate of the people, of course, those who watched the election knew how it went, and if really true, the people actually gave Siminalayi Fubara their mandate. But take a look at the saying from Wike, who has often said that 2027 we would know who owns River State. Now, do you think it's possible? I know we haven't gotten there yet, but do you think with such assertion coming from Wike, we might certainly, or we might not have a Fubara in 2027?
Well, this question you just asked me, I want to reinterrogate you before I answer it. Okay. You were saying something like, if actually people gave him the mandate and all that.
Yes.
So, as you see Rivers, you believe that any other party other than PDP can win Rivers on a clean slate on vote and let the vote count. You think APC will win election in Rivers?
But do you think,
or any other party will win election in Rivers as it stands?
But do you think
It's like asking APC to win election in Delta. How will it work? You see, we have a political history of this state. Whether the people do not want Fubara or not, they will not vote APC at the governorship level. So let's get that one right first, before we begin to look at the question you are asking, that Wike could possibly take down Fubara for second tenure. Because he's saying that that is when we will know who owns the state. So that is the same arrogance. When one man believes that he owns everybody, and I keep saying this, I've written countless articles on this, nobody owns anybody. The reason why husband and wife fall out is because one person is trying to own the other. You cannot own anybody. A man is not designed in such a way that it should be owned. That is why slave trade was abolished in 1876. You can't own anybody. That is not the making of a man. You can lead people. You can influence people. You can get them to agree with you to work. And you can get them to advance a cause or adopt a movement. But to own them, and that's what Wike does not understand. He's talking about who owns rivers. That is where he will discover that the claim that you own that place, you will get a rude awakening when the time comes.
Considering the brevity of life, when we hear people like Wike talk about 2027, can you give us your final thoughts on how people should actually be talking when you know you don't even own life?
Well, I think the people of Rivers State should decide who owns rivers and not Wike. Rivers State belongs to the citizens of that state and not one man. This same man, Wike, that is talking now, was once a local government chairman. In fact, before being a local government chairman, he was just a law graduate and all that. So, because the people have supported him to this stage, it has gotten into his head to believe that he owns rivers. But I dare say that nobody owns Rivers State. Rivers State belongs to the people of Rivers, and that includes all the tribes and ethnic groups in that state.
All right, we've been speaking to Barrister Evans Ufele. He's a barrister at law, a prolific author, and a critical don. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure and instructive to have you.
Thank you very much.
Henry, it's been a lot, and as a Rivers indigene, for once, let's have the will of the people prevail. I don't know, but something tells me that the odds are in our favor this time.
Really?
Yes.
All right. Well, for me, I think the most important thing here is good governance. No matter who is the office guy, the most important thing here, the Rivers people need good governance, infrastructural development, and every sort of good governance. That's basically what the River people and Nigerians need.
Absolutely. And that's our show today. In the meantime, you may visit our page on YouTube and across all social media rostrum at Enterprise TV 7. And like, comment, and subscribe. You may also visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com.
I am Henry Igwe.
And I'm Chinyere Igwe. Thanks for your time.
Goodbye.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.